If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear
El
listener.
Templo del Adios by Mega de...
El Templo del Adios. I'm assuming that's the Temple of God. Right? Dios? In the Temple of God, inshallah.
No, Adios. Oh, Del.
Ah,
yeah,
Dios.
you're probably right. You're probably right. So this one is a tough one for our DJ.
Rest in peace to the Temple of Goodbyes. Oh, okay, adios. You know how you say adios?
Well, I said adios.
You know adios, but adios literally means like to God or with God. Adios.
That's cool.
Dios. Go with God.
That's cool.
Basically. Avanza! The Temple of the Goodbye is what it translates to, you beautiful people.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you idiot.
And now we're going to play Mago de Os. Let's do it. Gang, gang, gang.
That's rain.
Cerca al final de su viaje vio llegar a una silueta que con el sol su armadura hacía brillar. Cuentan que su rostro nunca vio, pero su voz anunció: soy el caballero de la blanca luna y a vos he venido a buscar. Todo lo que empieza tiene un fin, es la razón de la vida. Todo lo que has aprendido de amistad y amor en tu alma quedará. Ya todo está hecho y ahora te aguarda mi reino. Duerme, duerme, monta, rocinate y emprende el camino hacia la luz. Es tiempo de regresar. emprendes camino hacia la luz, hacia el templo de
Wow.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Reminded me a little bit of some of the Christian music my mom used to listen to.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yeah, it would sound a little bit like this.
Wow.
This is some deep, soulful. This is Franco showing a little bit of soul tonight.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
deep soulless shit right now. Rest in peace to
Yeah.
the to Lucky the Turtle though, for real. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, it was okay. So back in the day, they used to have, you know, like criers or weepers at like a funeral or whatever.
Yeah.
Like to me, this, like if this is at a funeral, this type of song,
Yeah.
this type of music, it was deep feeling, but at the same time, like it felt like it was a proper send off, and it wasn't so sad sounding that you just. Like, sometimes the songs that they play at funerals, I'm like, why are they doing this to all of us? Why are we doing this to ourselves? We were already so sad, and now this song is making it, like, 50,000 times worse because of the notes and everything. But this, to me, is, like, a perfect... I would wish that this was my culture. And that this would be, you know...
Yeah, I mean, I saw it firsthand in the hood, man. Like, they were... I just always felt like they had I don't want to say a leg up, but they were just so much more expressive with their grief. The Latin folks where I lived. Like, it was really interesting. I remember when Big died, it was actually my first day of school was the Monday after Big died. Big died on a Sunday. Biggie Smalls, greatest rapper of all time.
I knew it was coming.
So he died on a Sunday. My first day of school in New York was on a Monday in the Bronx. And like, I expected people, they'd be crying and all this. Like, people were talking about it, like, yo, Big died, I can't believe it, blah. But like, you know, but when Big Pun died, who's a Latin guy, like the hardest dudes in my block were crying. Like the hardest Latin king, you know, gun-toting, stone cold killers. They were like crying over this guy. And he was just a rapper, like they didn't even know him.
Wow.
But you know, like, and it's a little bit different. If I was in Brooklyn, you know, New York is very parochial. So if I was in Brooklyn the day after Big died, I'm sure people would have been massively upset.
Yeah.
Big Pun came from the Bronx. I was in the Bronx, so that does kind of color it a little bit. But it's just Latin people. They were just. It was weird. Like we had to be stoic. The black ones, we had to be stoic. The Latin folks were able to be loud. They were able to celebrate. They were dancing in the hallway. If a girl goes out with you, you dance with the girl in the middle of the hallway and all this shit. We would never do it. Like, look at these clowns. But like they were just more expressive about everything, start to finish. Kids, death, life, whatever. Like they were just always on 10 the whole time. And that's why I ended up with the one that was like the exact opposite. Like she's literally the yeah, but that was their culture, man. They were just very like they felt it. You know what I'm saying? They felt it.
Wow.
Those Latinas, they just wired like that. Why? What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking like if I was a part of that culture from like my teen years, I feel like that's the type of culture that like in my teen years I was very rejected for my personality, like just too outgoing, too loud, which probably in that culture would have been quiet.
Yeah.
So it's just funny, like,
yeah,
you know, but it would have been cool to have a friend that was like that and just kind of like be a part of their family events. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got invited to a couple of them because that was kind of my.
Were you able to?
That was my wheelhouse.
Right.
See, my wheelhouse.
As we spoke before about what you're attracted to now.
Well, the Latina
Vin's
girl.
let it out of the bag now. Yes.
Well, I've been said it, but you look like a Latina woman.
I don't look like a Latina woman.
Yeah, you do. You got dark hair. You got, you know. You just do. But anyway.
So when you were there, like, Because you can be loud and all of that. Did you fit right in?
Yeah, I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
You know, I fit
But
in
what
with
if you were having a day where you were kind of low? Did you just turn it on anyway, or what did you do?
Well, yeah, I mean,
You did. You just.
there are other situations that play over there. You don't get to walk around and be depressed in those situations.
Oh.
You know, you people like you are dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It's dangerous.
What does that mean?
Being around a very attractive woman in a neighborhood that's not yours, like that's.
Oh.
You got to be very, very particular about. You know what I'm saying? You probably would have got me killed over there for sure. You're yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're 100% kill worthy for sure.
Worthy.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
They'd say he never saw his face, but his voice announced, "I'm the White Moon's Knight, and I've come looking for you."
What is that, like the Grim Reaper, but in a different sense?
Yeah. Everything that begins ends, and that's life's reason. Everything you've learned of friendship and love in your soul will stay.
Mine has, in your soul it will remain. I like remain better than stay.
Yeah, so that's kind of like that line right there was like in the world of this song, the meaning of life is to have friendships and love and learn those lessons. So it's an angel who's saying that to him.
Okay. I like. Oh, see, Franco says it's an angel too as well. I like that. There was one line where it sounded like complete. Maybe it was this one. Everything that starts has an end, and it's the reason of life. Which you read that. It might have been that.
Yeah.
I like when something like that definitive sort of line, like I guess I guess we do kind of still have that. I was going to say with Christianity, you don't necessarily have that because there was the fall, and before the fall, we weren't supposed to die, but now here we are on a cycle of death and blah, 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 and sin and all
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, you kind of like back away from that, and you see that there is a plan within the plan. And so because God is so layered, you still have that. Like, even though this was not seemingly the original plan, this was still the original plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just working through something in my mind.
I see. Well, I mean, the idea that you're here to learn a lesson and that you're,
Sorry, go ahead.
Wow, go ahead. What was it? Sori isn't the typical freckled green guy.
Guess what? I do have freckles if you get close.
Maybe he meant that. Anyway, everything that begins ends, and that's life's reason. Ride. I'm
There's something
assuming that's the
magical in your
horse,
interior that gives you this
and begin towards the light, towards the Temple of Goodbye. That's a
But the
real.
way that it was sung, like, it made me feel like it's okay. Like, you know how there's some songs when they're singing it, you feel like partially traumatized. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When you're already so sad and depressed, I feel like you haven't gone to enough funerals to know that people do this. And then they play the worst type of songs. Like, have you been to funerals where they do that? Like, they're hitting all the notes that it literally makes you feel like we should just lock us all in here and light the church on fire. Like, it's really like a horrible feeling. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You've never been to funerals where they do that.
Well, I mean, I've been to a funeral where there was sad music and people cried, but that's the point of the funeral. The point of the funeral is not to go there and be dignified. The point of the funeral is to cry.
I know, but it's just like when it's... I can't describe it. You feel like your soul is going to explode because it's just too sad. And then the music makes it worse. That's so interesting. I'm actually super glad we had this conversation. Holy shit.
Why?
Okay, so I was remembering this friend that I had growing up, and I was trying to figure out like what happened to our friendship, because it ended at some point and she like turned on me in this dramatic fashion, in my opinion. And I was like thinking, and then all of a sudden, like, I remembered that her mother had died. She had like her mother was like this strong, like badass woman. Like, she was like the type of woman that you didn't think was going to die.
Yeah.
And she was in a pool, and she had like a seizure or something in the pool. Her husband was literally friggin' right there, and he didn't see that happened, and she drowned. By the time he pulled her out, it was already too late. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I never went to the funeral. I didn't even support her in that. Oh my gosh. And I've been panicking like the last 4 days. I've been trying to, and literally this thought, it was her funeral that had such a horribly sad song that I could not stand myself. It was so sad. So this reminded me that I was there for her. I think it was just too hard, and I kind of put it out. So kind of glad this song happened, because that was really troubling me, that I wasn't there for her for such a horrible event. And I thought maybe it's because I didn't know you at that point, and knowing you has really made me realize that you have to help people when they're hurting. You've been a real point of support for me in a lot of different, the first time I ever had a panic attack, you were there. All these weird things happened to me in that really, really bad phase of my life, and you were there, and you helped me in such a calm fashion that it helped me to be okay, that's how you have to be when you're helping somebody. If they're panicking, don't panic with them. Be calm with them. Help people. Sometimes even the strongest people go through points of weakness, and they need someone to just be there. So you've taught me so much about that I don't know, it just made me, I just thought, oh my gosh, before you, I wasn't supportive. But I remember now, I was there for her. I was at the funeral. I'm very glad about that. So thank you, Mike, for this song, because I've really been bothered the last couple days. As I'm scrubbing the dishes, I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I wasn't there for her. What did I do? What the frig was I doing when her mother was having her funeral? I was there.
Well, there you go.
But again, I like this song because I still feel like it deals with the issue, but it deals with it in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? I'm doing a lot of talking.
No, talking's good. No, it's I don't believe that everything that begins has an end, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a dualist. I think that there's.
That's right, you're not.
Well, no Christian is or can be.
I know, but I think that I lean more on that side.
But me, what's funny is me and AT were talking about this when we were hanging out in our drive. I took him down to Augusta. Actually, me and him in our drive, I went past Augusta. I don't know where we were, but he had to get back by a certain time, so I had to turn around. Plus, he really wanted to. He wanted to meet you, so I had to find a way.
I'm glad he cared.
Yeah, I was just gonna just go. We were gonna have our little philosophical, but I explained okay, if there is a God, then dualism is impossible, right? Because then, especially if it's a monotheistic God, then dualism is impossible, because you have life without death, you have light without darkness, you have goodness without sin, yada yada yada. But in this little sliver of time, when we have to interface with sin or negativity, death is not a part of life. Death is a negation of life. Black is not a color. It's light. Darkness isn't a reality in itself. It's simply the absence of light. But for the little space of time that we're in here, we still have to deal with the fact that there is light and darkness, that there is life and death, that a baby's born at the same time somebody's dying. So to me, I'm good with a temporary dualism in this little slice of time, as long as you realize that there's a God who's superintending it, who is
that's interesting.
is obviously the third way in a lot of things. And obviously, I'm a Trinitarian, so at minimum you'd have to say there's a triality instead of a duality. Why? That's the other thing about dualism. Why is there only two? There could be three. There could be four. You know what I'm saying? So there's it's you've got water, ice, and steam.
Yeah.
You also have plasma. Plasma is enough. Anyway, I don't want to get too far into it, but it's in this slice of life, though. In this slice of life, you do have those dualities, and I think that's because we're very simple beings, and God is trying to teach us a lesson. And so if he simplifies life in the universe to dualities, then we're much more able to recognize them and see them, so that we can deal with them. Once you start triplicating and quadruplicating things, then it gets complicated. People don't know what to do. Like we don't even we can't even get don't kill each other right. So God has to just put us in a dualistic sort of time frame because we're simple beings. We can't even figure out don't kill each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is just incredible to me. But anyway, go ahead. What did you get?
Yeah, I think of that sometimes when I think about okay, like if this world is really not like, oh look. Is that?
Yeah, they got a show coming up, Evanescence.
Oh, with Evanescence?
Yeah.
Did you already tell me this?
No. Oh. I told what's her face, and she's like,
that's nice.
She's like, I'll see you if you're there. I'm not making any plans with you. Go ahead and give your score.
Shoot. Okay. 9.7.
This is a very, very emotional. But a couple of these songs, I think it's the Latin flavor. It's bringing me back to the hood. Damn you, Mike Franco! Damn.
It's so funny because the only time I ever hear him talking about Latin music was there was one song apparently they played the entire summer and he literally hates the song now. That's the only thing I've ever heard you say about that.
Yeah.
I've not seen this side of you with the music.
Well.
So thank you.
Yeah, well, well, it's because I'm with you in the setting. The other one was with her, and there's, whatever. So, all right. There you are, dear listener.
Wait, you didn't rate it.
It's a solid 9 for me. It's a solid 9 for me. Shout out to Jesse Days.
Rose of Pain is next.
Yes, Vin out.
It's a live one. Sorry, out.
Gone.